All right, so this is a pretty cool episode for me because exactly 1 year ago, Mr. Bendings was my very first guest on this podcast. At that time, we were just trying to figure out where the market was going, talked a lot about real estate, and there was a good bit of uncertainty. So we're going to start today's episode by talking about what the market has done. What has it changed in the last 12 months? We'll talk about some of the numbers, where interest rates were, what the market looks like, and then some other things that have changed in our societal norms, AI, a few other things. So we'll also talk about what has not changed and what is stable and what still feels really good. And so I really look forward to this episode with Mr. Ben. Thank him for inspiring me to start my podcast, for being my first guest, and for coming back 12 months later. Let's go. So today's episode might either ruin your sleep schedule or it could convince you that your smoke detector is possessed. So I found today's guest randomly on Facebook, which is obviously how most horror movies begin. They run Life Beyond the Living, a paranormal investigation platform exploring haunted locations, spirit communications, haunted dolls, which I think we're going to have a special guest, EVP recordings, and all the things that you should not be Googling at 2 a.m. And I don't know what half of these words mean, so we're going to find out. So today we're talking about ghosts and haunted places and the creepy dolls again. So welcome to the show, Tammy and Tammy's partner. And I messed it up. Tammy, I forgot your partner's name.
Len.
Len. Hey, Len. So Tammy and Len are partners in life as well as in business. So that's exciting.
Yep. We've known each other for going on 26 years and we've been married for 10. So.
Did you have this in common before? Like, were you both into this before you met, or did y'all develop this together?
So we never talked about our experiences at first, because it's like, oh, I don't want to be the freak of the. So it was something kind of hidden. We grew into to go, hey, did you know?
That's interesting. So I guess we might have two different answers then. So let's say this. What is the first experience that made you realize, oh, okay, I can't explain this?
I would have to say I was really young and I kind of grew up. My backyard was Indian burial ground in Coweta. Yeah, that's a good start. My brother decided to mess with one, and it was very. I was.
It listed with like a grave, like a.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
And
risky.
We were young, and we were in the woods, and nobody was with us, and all of a sudden he's messing with it, and like out of nowhere, you could just see him levitate, and I'm like, "What?
You are lying. You are lying."
No. But that's the start of.
I would say that's a start.
I was about 3 or 4, and you don't have many memories as a kid of being 3 or 4. And we lived in a house close to a graveyard, and I would tell my mom, "Can you tell the soldiers to be quiet?" I remember vividly seeing like Civil War soldiers, and they would be shaking hands and they'd be talking and they'd keep me up at night. And as a kid, you're trying to rationalize that. You're like, maybe my parents let them in. Maybe my parents know they're here. But my mom was like, honey, what soldiers? I have no clue what you're talking about. So that was the first one for me that I still can't explain.
Yeah. So I've gotten to the part where I'm spending time studying religion. I'm fairly religious. And that's a hard word to say because I still say cuss words and all that stuff. And I'm studying God. And the more I study the Bible and everything, I'm starting to realize how much is possible that we all just think it's not. So the fact that I believe that's possible that somebody was levitated or you saw that, because I can't explain everything in this world.
No. Right. And, even though we talk to the paranormal or go explore it,
I still believe Jesus Christ walked on this earth.
Yep.
I'm very religious, yet very spiritual.
I love that. And there's some thought. You know, my own struggles is with reading the Bible and trying to figure out what I think it means versus what it means. And I've listened to some podcasts that talk about that. People aren't actually going to heaven yet. That heaven is for the resurrection. That people, when they die, they're actually still here. They are in the in between. And again, I'm ignorant with all this. I'm learning and reading, but I was listening to that. I was like, well, that's pretty interesting. That makes a lot of sense that when you die, you're not in heaven yet, because heaven's for the resurrection, that you're kind of in this, I don't know about limbo, but I don't know how to explain that, or even if it makes sense to anybody. But
No, that's completely.
It's more like purgatory.
Yep.
You're not in heaven and you're not in hell. You're in no man's land.
I know.
Well, I hope that's not true, because we all don't want to believe that our relatives are cats and dogs that have passed away, that are just, purgatory sounds like a horrible word. So, well, I want to go back to y'all both similar, I guess, experience with graveyards. So I don't know if people consider Pet Cemetery a horror movie. Have y'all seen that?
I have, yes.
I'll be honest, I have not.
To me, it is the scariest movie ever, to me, because the guy lives on a main road, and there's, I guess, I don't know how far away from the house, but there's a pet cemetery. And there's an old, I think it might be an Indian guy or whatever, but so the little boy gets killed. Now, before that, their cat gets buried, and the kid goes and buries his cat in the pet cemetery, and the pet comes back to life, but they come back evil, of course. And then the guy is just distraught because his little boy gets killed, and he buries the boy in the pet cemetery, and the boy comes back to life. And of course, he's evil then, or just not all there. And it is just, I think it's the trauma of the thought of losing a child, as well as, because it's not overly gory. It's not, it's just, the movie was crazy.
I have to say, being a mom, the worst horror movie I've seen recently was Hereditary.
We've never.
I could not get past it. If you haven't seen it, I won't spoil it, but there's a part in the movie where the son is driving down the road with the daughter in the car. And after that moment, it lost me. I was like, okay, as a parent, this is horrific. So
I can't deal with that. So, all right. So at what point did y'all decide, hey, let's start actually investigating? Would you call it that? Or do you just explore? Is it just fun?
So actually, I call it like hide and seek, tag your it, because they came and found me, and now I'm going to find them.
Yeah, we call it our favorite game of tag, because for a long time, Lynn and I had experiences, even growing up together, that I couldn't explain, she couldn't explain. Mm-hmm. And we were like, well, why don't we just go look and see what we find? So I guess the answer would be we explore and investigate.
Okay. So on I believe it's your either Facebook or TikTok or one of your pages, what's the name of that? So if people log off early, then they'll have, what's the name of your Facebook page or your TikTok?
It's
or
Life Beyond the Living, but we also have a website that you can go to, lifebeyondtheliving.com, and it has all our social medias at the bottom.
Yes.
And phone numbers if you have any questions or anything
or want to get involved.
Yeah.
That y'all posted, you want people to share their stories with you. I'm sure it's just entertaining and you like talking with people that experienced it. But then do y'all go investigate those things? If somebody says, I think I might have something in my house, can you come look at?
We actually have.
Absolutely. I think there is a bottom line here, though. Lynn and I are both studying parapsychology, and we have to determine and make sure that who we're talking to isn't having like auditory hallucinations or some kind of sickness too. So we do kind of weed that out when we're discussing that and deciding that.
It's like, are they in spiritual psychosis?
That's also a thing. Yes.
Wow. Okay. I'm not familiar with that term, but I'm glad you said that, because I didn't think about that. I do have some friends that had multiple personality disorder, and they had those different things where I know that they really felt like other people were in the room, and it was a psychosis is the right word, whatever that was, that because medicine cured it. So
Yeah, I mean, even schizophrenia, you'll know if it's,
schizophrenia, that was the word. I don't know. Yeah.
that's one that got me, because a lot of people that think there's someone actively following them to harm them constantly, that's where you have to draw the line. Is this safe for them or you to bring equipment in and to check things? And
And there's been quite a few people that we've talked to and we've met in a public area and we're like, I don't feel safe. So I'm not going to their house to investigate, because if I go from public place to private, there's a danger on us.
Yeah. I did have a friend with schizophrenia. I should study that, but I don't have the time, and I don't. But schizophrenia is fascinating because my friend that had schizophrenia said that the person that visited constantly told him to harm other people.
Yes.
That was a battle, and he was smart enough and early enough to know that it wasn't real, but evidently that's part of the disease, that then that line becomes blurred.
Yes. And like my brother was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And if they're not caught early on and like before 30, the medical institutions or doctors, psychiatrists, they will not actually help you. They just say you have
XYZ
of it. I can't diagnose you with this.
If you're diagnosed early, we're way off topic, but if you're diagnosed early, is it curable? Is that the right word, or is it just medicine?
No, you medicate it, and it's almost like autism. Autism people learn how to mask it, learn how to cope
with it.
Yeah. I think that was the biggest thing for them is knowing that it existed, knowing what it was. Then he could handle it because then he knew that, okay, this is not real.
Yes.
And he knew it was, all right.
But to answer your question, yes, we will definitely go out and investigate. One of our biggest things is we also don't claim that we can find something every time, and that we like to try to debunk too.
Okay. That'd be fun too. Yeah. That's good. Well, so I was leading to this whole question on the website. You have for entertainment purposes only. I believe I read that on your site. So is that just a disclaimer that you put on there to protect yourself, or do you feel like this is mostly entertainment?
No, because I have had spirits come to me in dreams of loved ones that I have no connection whatsoever, that have passed on to give messages so they can move on, because I believe that some of their purpose here on earth is they're trying to get a message out. And that's their way of moving on to the higher level.
Getting sucked off.
Yeah.
Okay, if you didn't laugh, then you don't watch the show Ghost. Have you seen that show? Okay, that line just makes you funny. He got sucked off. I was like, so sorry, I was not being offensive out there, people.
No, you're fine.
That's the comment that they say when the ghosts. I guess they kind of linger in the ghost show, the TV show. They linger, and one person can see them, and then when they actually get wherever they go, they get sucked off. Now that's my term. I don't even know how else to say it, but that's why I use that word. So while we're talking about this, so how do you separate real experiences from coincidence?
I think it all has to do with evidence. So if the evidence is consistent, like we did an investigation in a jailhouse, and one of the things that was very consistent, we all had different smells we were smelling, which was strange because it was like alcohol. We had like a bourbon smell, and then we had our ghost app.
Were you in Tennessee?
No, actually,
no, it was here, and actually it's in Coweta County.
They have a haunted jail or haunted.
So it's the jail cell that held John Wallace.
Now that you ask me, Murders of Coweta.
Okay. I've heard about that. I'm not familiar with it.
I'm drawing a blank with his name, but it was a big case we did, and I think it was John Wallace.
But he was held in that cell because he was convicted by murder. And of course it's held many other, but that's why it's so famous, that one particular cell. But it's the last thing that actually exists from that.
It was a 1911 jail house, but it's just the cell that exists now.
Yeah.
And the guy that owns it was lovely, and he agreed to let us come in and do some investigation. And so on our app, we use an app called GhostTube. And if you ever use it, just use it with caution, you know, and also think about this, you're going to get generated answers. So it's not always going to be consistent with what you're doing. But I would say something along the lines of, do you guys smell that? It smells like alcohol. And it would say alcohol or bourbon or something on the app. And I'm like, that's too consistent. And then we would have other things go off during that investigation. So
the phone app that you're using that
yes.
listens?
Yes. So we have one phone, like an app on our phone. Like, I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Yeah, so GhostTube has several different things. They have almost like a spirit box option, but it also generates words or sometimes sentences.
Yes. But we also have like a spirit box that does a little more than that, because you can't, it's going to like so fast through stations, because that's how they connect, through radio stations, but it's a wavelength. And so a spirit box, you're listening to it while it's like super fast.
Yeah, and if you catch words, sometimes they're consistent with what's being asked and things like that.
Yeah.
But that particular one, I would say there were so many things that just weren't coincidental.
Yes.
So, and then there's been other times where we were told that somewhere was very haunted and we went in and got just about nothing.
Nothing.
Did they moved out, or just be like, has a ghost ever ignored you? Like,
you know,
you
probably.
were there, but they're like,
I'm fairly obnoxious, so.
But I have to say, though, it's one of those, if we go into a place and we know the exact story, I feel like we don't experience as much because we're expecting it.
Right.
So
I think the hard part, because you'd really, I would assume you'd go in everywhere really wanting to see something grand, and yeah.
Well, also, if it puts someone's mind at ease, I would rather find nothing.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, maybe your refrigerator was making a really weird noise, or,
Yes.
you know. So for me, it's also, I don't care if I find something if it puts someone's mind at ease. But if someone's like, hey, this is really cool, you need to see this, and I don't see anything, I'm like, boo.
So are ghosts ever violent? Have you ever?
Let me knock on wood. No, but I have to say,
I have to stop you and say there was one time we did a basement for a friend of ours.
That wasn't violent. It was terrifying.
Uh-huh.
There was a difference.
Okay, how was it terrifying? What happened? I want to know.
Well, so we go to the basement for our friend, and we have our apps on and everything else. Most of our apps speak English, maybe Spanish, German we've picked up, but this starts picking up Latin.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wait, I don't really know what you're saying.
We could tell it's some of the apps and, you know, spirit boxes, they're not supposed to change languages.
No.
So it doesn't have that feature, which was very odd too. And then as we proceeded to end the investigation abruptly, because the couple got very uncomfortable, and we told them this was a bit beyond what we do.
Yeah. I can't say I go into a house and cleanse it. Yes, I have Indian background. I'm Dakota Sioux and she's Cherokee, but we're still studying.
I'm not quite there yet.
I'm not there yet.
But I will say Lynn was walking up the stairs and had a moment that was very scary.
Well, yeah, I guess that would be violent. They tried to take me back down the stairs. They tried to push me.
She felt like something had grabbed her and tried to pull her back down. So I don't know if it was like, I just still want to speak to you, or if it was like, hey, you're going to be down here with me forever.
Wow. So this is a little repetitive, I guess, but just for clarity. So your goal is, one, just to see if anything's there, but also you believe that a lot of ghosts might have something to say, and that might be why they're hanging out. So your goal is to, one, are they even there? And then just to see, hey, do you have a message you're trying to send on to somebody?
Yes, we always try to ask, is there a message you want to get to someone?
Also, it's a bit of educating people too, because a lot of times, people hear paranormal or ghosts and they're like, this is so scary. But then you got to think about it. What if it's your loved one? Is that scary? Sometimes I like to reference this because it was something we were learning in our parapsychology. People with dementia, if part of their energy is left, if it's like an energetic stamp in a certain place, you might get angry energy because they don't know why you're there.
So their ghosts could still have dementia?
Yes.
So that part of their spirit that's left, it's not necessarily them, but it's, say you got in a car wreck somewhere and you didn't die.
It's an impression.
But you left an imprint there, maybe like an angry or a scared energetic imprint. So it could be an energetic imprint, or at least that's what I'd like to believe too, with the research I've done. But if they're, like I said, they have dementia, then they're confused. Why are you there? Why are you changing stuff?
If you find this video, please subscribe.
It's interesting. See, I do believe in it. I feel like it contradicts with the Bible, so I try not to believe it. But I kind of like I do believe in energy forces. I mean, we kind of know we feel an energy when we walk into a room, whether it's a high energy, a low, negative, bad. Like we all feel these energy forces, and I personally think that expands into so many other things, whether it's life or existence after life, whether it's people, whatever. I think part of the Muslim religion is energy. They believe that God is the energy force. I don't remember. Again, I do think that's pretty interesting that how you could feel
Force.
something. Yeah, the energy source. I think you use the word leaving an imprint. So that's interesting.
Yes. So, like, I would also call those more of a residual haunting.
Yeah, so there's a difference between a residual haunt and an intelligent haunt. So residual haunts is something that they part of their spirit may be reliving, like how someone died. So if you go and you're just seeing what looks to you like a woman searching for her child, that was, something that always comes up on bridges. She's just residually haunting that bridge. She's not interacting with you. She doesn't know you're there, but she's just doing what she's been doing. With intelligent haunt, they can interact with you. They can touch things. If, sometimes I would say they can move things, but I haven't really seen that. Not to an extent that would be proof that they can physically move objects.
Well,
Besides, I will say the poltergeist doll behind me, Danya, she has slightly moved certain objects around her, but not to the point of like, oh, she just threw that across the room.
yeah. Well, I did see one of your videos online, and the doll moved or slumped over. So, I mean, are they moving? So let's go into this. You brought a special guest. So would you say that's your focus is dolls?
No,
It didn't start that way.
Start this way.
Raise that. All I see is a head. Oh my goodness. But she's cute. She's not so scary looking.
You know what's funny is a lot of people are scared of haunted dolls. Then they see her and they're like, she's beautiful.
Yeah. Most of them are scary. My mom, when my grandma passed away, she had a glass case with these same crazy looking dolls. I think it's just because their eyes are staring at you. I think they have big eyes and it looks like they're looking right in your soul. And that's
But if you think about it, it's a close thing that looks like a human.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why people will say dolls get possessed easier because they resemble us.
Yeah, she's quite the character.
Yes.
We've had quite the experiences with her, and other people have too. Nothing malicious or anything like that, but she likes to play games.
Yes.
So we actually did.
Like Uno or
what was that?
What type of games does she like to play?
Well, so we did an event back in October at the Growler, and
Downtown
in
Fayetteville.
downtown Fayetteville, and we were all gathering. They had the back door left open or unlocked, and so people could get to go orders. Well, everybody's up front, and we're doing our talking about ghosts. We're doing all of that, and someone went to the back and said it was locked, and they asked around who locked it. And then they walked up to us and said, I think your doll locked us all in.
She will open doors. She will lock doors.
Yes.
And so that has been a thing with her.
She likes coffee.
She likes coffee too. And if you intrigue her, like a friend of ours was talking about making a short film and they wanted to put her in it. So we have what we call cat balls. I know you've seen the little balls that light up when you touch them.
Yeah.
And we use those for investigations, especially with children, because they like the lights, children spirits. Well, she likes to use them to answer questions. So I do have a video we haven't posted yet, but you'll see our friend say something about, Danya, do you want to be in a movie? And she's got a cat ball in her lap, nothing touching it. And it just starts lighting up. So then
she force that creates it. Yeah. She looks like, I'm looking at her. She looks like she's about to say something right now. She's like,
she's probably expressing her want to go to we bought our daughter tickets to Cat's Eye. It's a band.
It's an international girl group that was started, I believe, on Netflix. And so our daughter wanted to go really bad. We got tickets for October in Atlanta, and Danya, our haunted doll, found out.
And so now she, every so often, when she knows that we're awake, because we set boundaries, because your voice is your biggest power.
Mm-hmm.
But if she knows that we're awake or we're about to fall asleep, she likes playing little games.
With electronics.
Well, our Alexa went off and started fastly going through all the Cat's Eye music. And I was like,
she was getting concert ready.
Yeah.
That would scare me. So that doesn't scare y'all at all?
So I don't feel anything malicious with it. I feel more of curiosity. Given that I've had other experience that made me feel uncomfortable, I didn't get any of that with her.
No, she's just a child.
She's very childlike.
Yes.
So if that doesn't scare you, I guess it scares you a little bit. What does scare you? Is there anything that you're afraid of?
Now, no.
I would have to say the one thing I do is being in the right mindset. So your mental health. If there is something a spirit's going to do, if they're trying to be malicious, it's put you in a bad frame of mind.
Yes.
So you see all these things in Hollywood where they're throwing you into mirrors or people fully levitating or all kinds of crazy stuff like that. But really, it's the mental health you want to worry about, because if you're dealing with a very sad spirit or someone that was very depressed before they passed, they can put you in that mindset and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
I think this young lady is changing her facial expression. She looks like
she does.
I'm like, am I imagining this? Her eyes look like she's like, I'm getting tired of this. Like, let's see if we can make her happy. We're gonna project positive, happy energy, and she'll smile again. So she'll twinkle. Wow.
Yeah, she likes happy,
and she's really good with men, which is funny because most men, they have this thing about haunted dolls. They're like, absolutely not. But we actually have a friend of ours that goes ghost hunting with us, and he will hold her like a baby, like just cuddle her like a baby once he got used to her. So she does have a very calming presence at times.
And she's not your typical small porcelain doll.
As you see,
she is actually
with the Uggs on.
She likes going shopping.
She does like going shopping.
She's got more expensive boots than me.
Yeah. She's definitely
a character.
Yeah.
So last question. Tell me what's the funniest thing that might have happened during one of these, or funniest interaction with a ghost?
Oh, there's been a lot, but I'd say our friend Mandy went investigating for the first time with us. And for me, this was hilarious. She didn't understand when you're doing an investigation, you ask a question and then you give time to answer. So it was kind of, she was just goofing off, you know? And all of a sudden through the app, you hear, "You are annoying, burn." Like, oh, a burn.
Oh, burn, like that burns, not like,
Yeah.
hell. That was like, that's scary. That's not funny.
No.
No.
It was in the way that the app said it too. It was like
a quick comeback.
the ghost had jokes.
Yes.
We have had
That's what we need. We need
plenty.
fun ghosts.
Yes.
We actually have a lot of fun investigating too. That's something no one talks about. I'm glad you brought that up. So we goof off a lot, like 90% of the time. We're having fun.
You have to have fun with it because it keeps your vibrations up. Because if you get too serious, sometimes that could lower your vibrations. Where I would not stay possessed, but change your mindset.
Exactly.
Right. Well, I again, the whole energy level thing, I love that. You've seen videos where a dad or a mom or grandma said that I'm gonna come back as a butterfly, or she loved butterflies, or she loved this or that, and then this person's sitting somewhere, and then a butterfly lands right on their shoulder, and that doesn't happen. I've never in my life had a butterfly land on my shoulder. So if somebody close to me passed away, and within a month a butterfly landed on my shoulder, I'm pretty sure that's going to be pretty believable. That is some form of, energy that's gone through them or whatever, a medium. Is that the right word?
100%. I have to tell you, this sounds crazy, but sometimes it's not always like an auditory or a feeling. Sometimes I smell things, so like phantom sense.
Yes.
And one thing I know for a fact is when my grandmother's around and she's like, "Hey, everything's going to be okay," I smell peanut butter. There could be no peanut butter in the house and I will absolutely smell it.
Wow.
I think when we finally started really doing this together is when we got together in a relationship. And I had to tell her when she moved in, I said, "Don't be alarmed at 12 a.m. You're going to smell coffee." I did not have a coffee maker in the house whatsoever. And she's like, "What?" I said, "And then you're going to hear down the stairs, the dump, the dump, the dump." And she's like, "What are you talking about?"
Apparently the old man that lived there before had died of a heart attack making coffee.
Yeah.
Going down the stairs. Which is so sad. So that's one of those residual haunts.
Yes.
As in Danya here is more of, she's very intelligent haunting.
That's interesting. I'm gonna have to look more into that. I love the thought of, you use the word, leaving an energy imprint or whatever.
Yeah.
And that makes sense to me, that, even especially if it was a tragic death or anything like that, that you could actually leave an energy input. I think that's the perfect word for it too. I can't even think of another way to phrase it. That
I heard it a couple of times when somebody was explaining their experiences, and I was like, wow, that is profound.
Well, like yesterday, we were like trying to figure out what we wanted to call it. And I was like, we just need to call it an energy imprint, because that's what they leave. I mean, you can leave an energy imprint being alive if something is so tragic.
It's kind of like going back to the therapy part of it. Like when a therapist explains to you PTSD, you can get PTSD from witnessing something bad happening to someone else, and it didn't even happen to you. So it kind of correlates.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Lynn, Tammy, thank y'all so much. This was very entertaining. Tell me again where they can find you. I'm old, so I always say Facebook, but you said you got a website and they can find all your social media from the website.
Yes, if you just visit lifebeyondtheliving.com and it'll pop up and show you. I think we have Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, of course, the website itself,
YouTube, and we're trying to get a Twitch. Because
we'll get there. The kids say that's what we need.
Well, I mean, I guess they do go there and they chat in videos like this, and they're just on, and I don't really understand it either. So whatever.
And eventually we want to actually start a podcast. So if you got any pointers for us, let us know.
Oh, I'd love to talk to you about that. Yeah. It's a lot easier than then it sounds, it's one of those things you just got to jump in and do it. And then it just really starts building from there. So it's not as difficult as it sounds, with it just feels like there's so much of a process. Like, how do you even do that? But I'm happy to talk to y'all about that.
Well, this has been a very positive first experience with podcasts for us. So we really enjoyed this.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank y'all very much. Y'all have a great day.
You have a
You
blessed
as
one.
well. Thank you, David.
All right. Bye-bye.
Are you having a David day?